Welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to show you a few things that have been breaking, getting hacked, getting worse on this, for lack of a better term, platform. Because, again, nothing ever works right on YouTube. So, upon finishing my stream, and as I'm sure many of you do, you go in and you set things and you do what you do. And upon finishing my stream today, all of a sudden, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree Edition has been completely removed from YouTube's game card database. It is literally just not on the list whatsoever, which means every single one of my Elden Ring streams has had its game card removed from it, and is now uncategorized. So, if this does not continue to prove that these people are literally blatantly hacking the entire system just because I am saying what I'm saying, just to get to me. Because again, I just finished Elden Ring. It is just the Shadow of the Erdtree Edition, none of the other ones. It's literally just completely gone. You know, when you go in and you set your games and there's a little drop-down menu, you type the game in, yeah, it is gone. And every one of my Elden Ring streams now no longer has a game card underneath it in the description. Because again, Shadow of the Erdtree Edition was in there, available to use, but now is no longer in there. So, what I'm going to do here, is I'm going to show you quickly. Let me bring this up on the screen here. Okay. This is... Hold on 1 second. There it is. This is what I'm talking about. And this would have been below every one of my games. This one right here. And it used to be. Until randomly today. Conveniently after the thing last night. Now, this is not the only thing that we're going to discuss. This is just the most recent thing that has happened. This happened directly after the last stream. You know, because again, as you know, I go in and I make my changes, and I really do immediately do that stuff. What you guys have to realize is somebody is sitting here breaking this shit, making it seem like I don't. The chat's never there. You guys probably think I'm doing that? No. It's just broken. Again, if it's disabled, it'll say that. So the point is, a lot of the times I'll even tell you guys that, and then conveniently after I tell you that, oh, then they find a way to start, you know, disabling the chat, unchecking that box, because then I'll go in there and the box isn't checked, and I sure as heck didn't do that. So, this is just the latest thing where Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree Edition has been completely removed from YouTube's database. So, yeah, that is not only me, that's anybody that used that game card. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that I am right. Because here we have... Give me 1 second here. Yeah, they're really trying to make sure I don't show you this. Hold on. That's crazy. It should be on your screen right now. Look. See all the info? On the top right? It displays in there, yet it's not displaying on your screen. See that? So when I go into the properties, it clearly works, yet it's not working for you. They're doing that on purpose. This is what I see all the time. Where I'll go in the properties, like this shit won't display. I'll set it up beforehand, but then they'll make it break on purpose. Like literally just starts not working. Well, that's Microsoft. That's literally Microsoft. And again, I've told you guys this before. All this stuff boils down to Microsoft. At the end of the day, all the shit that's happening is Microsoft. Now, again, let me try to get this back up, but this is insane. I can't even show the screen. They won't let me show the fucking screen. That's stupid. That's ridiculous. Do you see it flashing? This is crazy. Okay, there we go. Okay. So. Whew. Okay. I asked. YouTube has completely removed a game card from their database. And this has now removed it from every single stream I have of that game. Yep. When a game title is completely removed from YouTube's internal database, often a part of their gaming category features, it causes the association to be lost across all videos that previously used that specific game, that card tag. Oh! This means that those streams will no longer be correctly categorized under the game's specific page or appear with the designated game title metadata, potentially impacting discoverability and organization on your channel. The thing that I've been telling you all this person has been doing to target my channel. And then it goes on to say, yeah, this sucks. This is literally, like, bad. It will impact your channel. I mean, this is literally Gemini confirming this. This is so stupid that this even happens. And again, this is all the time. So this is just the latest thing. Okay? So, as that is the latest thing that I have to show you, like, this is crazy. This is what I'm talking about, man. Okay, so now let me bring up, let me go through this with you. On Halloween, we had a Halloween stream. And at a certain point in that stream, the bit rate just became malicious to the point that it was not, like, the stream, I let it run, because again, nobody could even watch the stream really, because, like, live, it just didn't look like anything, you know? And that's the point, the bit rate was so malicious. And, so that's what happened on the Halloween stream. We're just streaming games, you know, and, eventually it just got so bad that, you know, nobody was going to see the rest of that live, and, it never recovered, you know, like, I think it was, like, 5 hours later, eventually we ended the stream, and it just, 5 hours, it was shifting around that bad and never recovered. And then, of course, you guys remember this happened again last night, too. This is what happened last night. And we confirmed that, you know, other people were reporting it and whatnot. So, let me talk about, in addition to this, what's been going on with these ridiculous, crazy views. It's obvious that we're getting views here that are just being removed, not accounted for. And I'm going to show you that. So, even just from earlier today, I noticed some differences in views. But let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. All right. Let's bring this up on the screen. Okay. 1 second, and I'll put this on the screen for you. Okay. If you guys remember the last intelligent conversation that we did, remember how we do these intelligent conversations? So if you remember that last one that we did, that one we finished with, there it is right there. Here is the screen, and if you see, it says total views 371, yet it says peak concurrence 6,196. Explain that. This is the stuff that I've been seeing from my end. I end the stream, and again, you can see it on the graph behind, too. It only counts the 371 views. As you can see there, like, kind of barely grayed out on in the middle there. But if you just look at the top card there that tells you peak concurrence, you know, right there, 6,196. I'm sure you can see that without me even making it large. And again, how does that make sense when the views that were counted for that were 371? And if you go look at that stream right now, that stream is now down to like 99 views. It was at like 101, 100, and then now it's down to 99. They're basically just slowly subtracting one view every once in a while. And again, as you can see, peak concurrence for that stream was over 6,000 at one time. That's just peak concurrence. That's not total concurrence. That's peak concurrence. That means at one time, that's how many people were in the stream just at once. And they only counted 371 views. So, let me show you another one here. This is the stuff that I'm talking about, guys. This is the stuff that I've been seeing from my end that's not making any sense. Okay, here we go. So, the airships stream, if you remember, that had thousands of viewers as well. They actually counted about up to 3,000, maybe like 3.3, 3.5 thousand. I was kind of surprised. And then all of a sudden, I looked earlier, and it was all the way down to 1.5 thousand. They just subtracted half the views all of a sudden. And I think they did it again. I think it has like almost nothing now. Let's look at that one, shall we? There it is. And we'll get this off. We don't need to have that on the screen any longer. But there it is. There is the end stream, the stream finished screen for the airship stream. And as you can see, they actually did count, as I said, 1,500 views initially. And then eventually, like I said, about 3,000, 3.5, I think. And then it went back down to this 1,500. And now it's back down to almost nothing, I believe, last I looked. And again, if you see the peak concurrence, You can see that it was at 4,000, you know, over 4,000, well over 4,000. And if you look behind, look at the graph, it was at that several times. Like look at how the graph, from what you can see, at least 2 different times met those concurrents. Yet they're counting 1,500 as the total views. No, that stream, man, I wonder if that stream would have had like 50,000 or something. Probably. So let's go ahead and take a look now at today's stream. Shall we look at today's stream? Let's look at today's stream. Here we go. So as you can see, they only counted 70 views, yet peak concurrence says 1,889. I'll be willing to bet the thumbnail for the stream is not the thumbnail that you're seeing there. The really awesome thumbnail that you're seeing there. I'll be willing to bet. So again, this proves that, again, the thumbnails don't ever match up. I never see the correct thumbnail. So that proves that. If you look at peak concurrence, again, the peak concurrence is only 1,889 at one time. But again, like, look at the only 70 views? That doesn't make any sense. Again, they're just not counting views. And then you see total likes 107. So more likes than even views on the stream, even counted views on the stream. That doesn't make any sense either. It's quite literally impossible. You cannot physically like the stream more times than it has been viewed. Otherwise, you're not counting things right. It's quite that simple. And there's been many, many things that have never added up. That's today even. Let's see. Alright, let's look at a screenshot here. Hold on, what's this one from? Oh. I'm not worried about that. Alright. This is from when we were streaming Halls of Torment. This is when instantly 156 likes came in. I want to show you guys this. This is what I see all the time. I see them not counting views. Like, you can clearly see 29 views are counted. 5 people are watching, yet 156 likes are on the stream. Okay. So you can clearly see that's not quite adding up there, obviously. So that's and again, that was just November 1st as well. Alright, let's see. So yeah, again, the big takeaway is the 156 likes compared to the 29 views counted and the 5 people sitting in that stream. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Alright, let's now look at a screenshot of my YouTube page a couple of days ago. I think this was a couple of days ago, of what the views looked like a couple of days ago. Let's go ahead and take a look. So if we take a look here, we can clearly see the anti-paint stream that now has like nothing. They removed all those views. Has 451 views. And that's another stream that we had a peak concurrent of thousands, I believe. We can look at that. I think I have that one. If you look at I guess that's the really only substantial thing there. So yeah, that is mainly, I guess, the main thing there, the anti-paint stream. 451 views, as you can see. And if you go look at that now, it's not even close to that. And again, at the time, even at the time that this screenshot was taken, it says 2 days ago. And as you can see, the most recent stream at that time was the Halloween stream. That was the Halloween stream. And so, I mean, you know, that was, geez, over a week ago now, you know. So, like, the point is, like, obviously we've done stuff since then. There's been time since then, and they've removed a ton of views. And, you know, that stream there, the Halloween stream, the evidence of stream tampering and all that was just the Halloween stream that got messed up. I mean, it's still a full-length stream where we played some games. And then it's just been sitting around 100 views. We're, like, literally just sitting there at 100 views still. So, again, Anti-Paint had too many views come off. That's, like, at almost no views now. And, you know, it says 451 there. So anyway, let me see something here. And again, of course, you remember the thing that happened today, the most recent thing, is that, again, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree has been removed from YouTube's database. So the game card no longer functions, is no longer in there. So if you, like me, had always used that as your game card, because that's the version of the game that you have, it is now no longer under all of those streams that you would have done for that game. And again, it just randomly disappeared. Conveniently, when I went to go do that stuff today, after the stream, to you know, set the proper game and everything like that, you know, all the other stuff that I do after the stream, and it just sort of wasn't there, as it always is. And again, this is after last night, after the weird stuff last night, and this is not the only thing. Let me show you the anti-paint thing. So here's the end stream, the stream finished from Anti-Paint, and as you can see, peak concurrence 5,954, and only 419 of them are counted. Well, you can clearly see 419 views have been at least counted, and they just literally removed them. But you can see clearly we had almost 6,000 peak concurrence. So, this is the stuff that I have been telling you guys about, that has been happening. And, you know, I mean, you guys already know that YouTube broke my my ability to have certain features on the platform as it is. But, like, removing this many views, this is really bad. And, you know, like, how badly is this happening to other people? Is what I've always kind of been saying. You know, like, in addition to me, how badly is it happening to the people that are unaware of what's going on? You know, like, where I've told you, like, there's clearly a manipulation thing on YouTube where they sort of break stuff and try to egg you on to this type of content or this type of content. You get what I'm saying? And as much as you want to believe it doesn't work, they'll break as many things as they can. And, you know, just trying to get this whole mind control thing working, where they can just make it so that they don't have to deal with certain types of content, I think is the point. And so, yeah, it's literally just working with probably a lot of people that just don't realize all these things are breaking silently. Like I mentioned, that a lot of times my edits, I can't do edits and stuff like that. They silently took away a feature to return it to the original form. And again, how many times, you know, I've been reading online too that I'm not the only one, like with, you know, like certain videos and stuff like that. It's very clear that YouTube kind of sits here and breaks certain features, like the stable volume or something like that on certain people's videos. And then, like, you can clearly see that's like a marker, some sort of internal marker where that's like a shadow ban video, where it's that video is demonetized for some fucking reason. You know, for some inexplicable, you know, they're not throwing a copyright on there, they're not throwing a warning on there, they're not telling you why. They're just internally, nope, not gonna promote that one. And so they bury it and break something about it. And so that's sort of kind of the point, is I sort of started noticing those things, whereas normally people wouldn't notice them. They'd probably just think, oh, well, that didn't take off, or, you know, that just didn't get as many likes, or whatever, you know, or something like that, where I'm actually noticing these things and calling it out. You know, like when the like button broke, remember that? And then I like physically showed evidence of it. And then as I was physically showing evidence of that shit, they started breaking it for, like, the whole channel, like, in general. And then, you know, just, like, as I would release new streams and stuff. And then, now it's, like, opposite. Now it's just, like, completely absurd, you know, views, or completely absurd likes, and stuff like that. And, you know, we see these things, but then they just come off later. So, that's what's been going on. That's, pretty serious here. Let me see. So looking at this one again, if you remember this one, I think it's important to remember, especially with these, that anytime I talk about a certain politician, a certain person, you know, we have an issue with bitrate, and you know, people get kicked out of the stream. And also, this is another one of the ones where, you know, none of those views are there anymore. You know, they just keep halting the view progress. just like all the other ones, just like my cooking streams too, or my uploads. They would get to a certain point and just completely, blatantly halt all view progress. Yeah, I mean, I've been talking about this for quite some time now. And so this is nothing where, we haven't noticed it. No, I've just been talking about it, and they break more stuff and try to break up what I'm saying and make it seem like just everything's breaking. And so the point is to show you what I see from my end, that just none of this stuff makes any sense. It's literally YouTube. And, I'm just sitting here doing what I know how to do, that works. There's times that it did. And, now it's gotten to the point where it's just so harassing, the point is it's like every stream something has to happen. So that's what's going on, where, every time we have a stream now, something happens. Even with the mobile streams or something like that, there isn't a single stream now that goes by where something doesn't cause the stream to, have some sort of problem with YouTube, with the streaming service. So, yeah. Or conveniently YouTube, you're trying to use the app, and then something on the app breaks that always worked, and it's now permanently broken, and the YouTube app literally just doesn't function. Something like that. Doesn't make any sense. How do you account for that? How do you account for the fact that you actually have an app that I can't ever stream horizontally from? And when I try to go live, it doesn't matter which camera I pick. If I pick the rear camera, it's gonna flip around to that front camera. It's just gonna flip right around to the front camera and face the front camera if I go live on the rear camera. It just automatically does it on the YouTube app. So you can clearly see how that's designed to be invasive. Just like all the other stuff with the AI, where when, my face is on the screen, there's weird stuff going on. Very weird stuff going on. That's what we're talking about. Stuff like that. That is really detrimental to YouTube and their privacy standards. And, this has been going on for years, man. This is nothing new. That stuff that I mentioned, where the app has been broken and I can't even stream horizontally, that's probably a couple of years that's been going on now. And many other things do not work. We talked about how my thumbnails are always different. I literally will see a different thumbnail than you guys a lot of times. And so lately, especially after I said this, what happened was I went in and started noticing that they are blacking out the thumbnail for me now. So on my end now, I can't even see any thumbnail. So not only is it going to be not the correct thumbnail, but now I can't even see what it is. It just doesn't show up. So you can clearly see, fundamentally, somebody's just going in there and breaking the platform. Just like I said, my streams don't process while I'm streaming. Like, I'll be done streaming, and it'll say, like, something to the effect of, I'll go in there and look at it, and it should have already processed, or almost be done processing. Nope, every single time I go in there, it'll be, well, your stream is being archived. It's preparing to archive. What the fuck? It's preparing to archive. It should have fucking started that, like, 2-3 minutes into the fucking stream. Not after I'm done streaming. It's preparing to archive. Oh, and sometimes it'll just say, we'll process this at some point within the next 24 hours. Yeah, we'll start doing that at some point in the next 24 hours. So it says one of those two things. They're not processing the stream anymore while I'm streaming. Isn't that interesting? So yeah, all these things are always broken. Like I said, the thumbnail is acting really stupid, but the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree game card is completely gone from YouTube's system. And that's really screwed up to just, especially a big game like that. So yeah, it's so, just be aware that that's the latest thing. We've talked about how a lot of this stuff is to make it so that people don't see the channel, yada yada yada, we don't get trending. We can clearly see all these views being removed and stuff like that. Even Gemini confirmed earlier, as we saw, that this flat out will affect things. This will cause a problem for the channel. It absolutely will, because they are not labeled properly. That's really messed up. So yeah, basically, we have to. Now I've logged all this on my end and stuff like that, and obviously I'm talking about it, and so I've done that, but you guys, as you see this stuff, start reporting it and getting on it too. Like, you see this crap go on. That's why I shared Down Detector with you guys, so that you know about Down Detector. Report it. I mean, the whole time that was happening, I was on there on Down Detector reporting that crap. You should. And it's boy, has it been bad. Like I said, I couldn't even finish the Halloween stream. That was completely ruined. And, even just last night. And then for the rest of the night, too. I mean, that's crazy. And then just that frequent. So, yeah. Just report things, and don't necessarily, because, like I've already told you guys, I report stuff to YouTube, and they don't. Flat out, like, it'll get worse. It'll almost get worse when I report stuff to YouTube. Like they almost have, like, this trolling behavior. Where, like, it's almost like a mockery, almost. It's utterly insane. So, in my honest experience, you can report it to YouTube, but don't expect them to take it seriously, and expect them to act and play stupid. Expect them to play dumb so they don't have to deal with it. Expect that. That's what you should expect from YouTube. Expect them to play dumb so that they can endlessly never have to do anything. I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed here that's been happening lately. I think that's pretty much, you know, mainly just all that stuff. Here, let me see if I can pull something up here. So, like, even if I go... yeah, that last intelligent conversation, the one I just shown you guys, yeah, it has 99 views. Like I said. So, like, if I go there right now, which I am, it has 99 views. So, again, somebody's just sitting there and halting it at double digits. Just like they did for the streams before that, too. There's a stream before that had thousands. The one that says... Actually, several of these did. The Getting Food, Where Have I Been, that had thousands. And the Good Evening Everyone, that had thousands. So several of these also had thousands and have now been reduced to hundreds and locked at those numbers. Like, I haven't seen the view count move at all. Same with the other one, too. The other intelligent conversation, even though it seems like it has a lot, 733, it's locked there. It is completely locked. And it's because it says it's a conversation about the First Amendment. So that's the point. Remember how we were doing good? Like, things were starting to get a little bit better. And then all of a sudden I did that intelligent conversation about the First Amendment. And then I have all these problems. With all these processing issues. I get massively harassed. Have all these problems conveniently after getting all those views on an intelligent conversation about the First Amendment. And that was the second to last intelligent conversation we did. And again, remember, that has 733 views, but it's locked there. It had well over that. Like, I'll bet if you go to that video, it's just like a normal thing where you'll see thousands that were watching probably, but they only counted hundreds. I'll be willing to bet. I mean, that's the typical thing. And then the same thing for a lot of the videos on my channel. Now, if you scroll down even further and you still go to a stream called Elden Ring Erdtree Cerulean Coast, you will find that stream still has more likes than views. They still didn't... Like, literally, they've been removing so many views that's the point. They messed up on that one, and I've pointed this out several times already, and it's still the same. where basically, again, you can clearly see it has more likes than views. So again, there's no way that that happens unless you're just removing huge chunks of views. You can't like a stream more times than it's been viewed. Like, again, that's not something that you should be able to do. So, you know what I mean? Like, how would you even just hit it a bunch of times? Nope, doesn't work. So yeah, that's what you'll see. And yeah, like I said, the airships stream, it's the same thing. There's just views coming off that too. Anti-paint is down to 51. So remember, that had thousands of concurrence. There was thousands of concurrence in the anti-paint stream, and yet there's 51 views on it now. Yeah, okay. And if you look at it, that's the one where YouTube was screwing up the previews again. Where if you hover over it, it doesn't really even show you a preview of the game. It's like a loading screen. So, you know, YouTube does this a lot, where if they want to screw somebody's channel up, they'll mess up all the thumbnails to look as dumb as possible. They'll make the video preview either not work, like literally physically won't function, or it'll be a loading screen. Like, you'll play like 9 freaking hours of a game, and they'll just make the fucking preview a loading screen, even though you got 9 hours of gameplay there. And they did that for Escape from Duckov. So for Escape from Duckov, where, you know, that's an awesome game, all it is the preview is like the beginning where I'm sitting there messing around with the customization. That's the preview. Not, you know, like a little bit of the gameplay so that people click on it. No. And then the thumbnail is like not really a moment when we're shooting stuff. It's a moment when I'm standing in like my my underground area, and I'm just like, I think I'm talking or I'm looking at something, so like my mouth is like sort of kind of half open. So like this is the point, like it's just ridiculous. And then like anti-paint, same thing. It's not like an awesome thumbnail of how cool that fucking game was. It's literally a thumbnail. Like, for you guys, maybe it's different, I don't know. But for me, it's a thumbnail literally showing, like, the shop area where, like, we buy the stuff. And so, like, that doesn't show anything. It's gonna be like, you're gonna look at that, you're like, what the fuck is this? And then you hover over it, and it's a loading screen. So you just will never click on it. But again, remember, this had like 400 some views counted, and somehow over, you know, like, it was like, I think this was the one with like almost 6,000 peak concurrence, right? Something like that. Thousands of concurrence. So the point is, you see 1, 2, 3, all these different things in a row, designed to break, designed to not work the way they should. That screenshot is supposed to be something good that would promote the fucking stream. The preview should be of the fucking gameplay, or something that makes sense, that would make you click on it, not the moment that I'm drinking from my can of energy drink on a fucking loading screen. And you know, the it's just ridiculous. And then same thing for Dakov. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not the first thing that's. I mean, like, this has been happening for a bit. Yeah. I'd say that a lot of the weirdness started happening right after that stream where I said the state police are harassing my family. Probably somewhere around there, where I talked about that stuff. Then we had like sort of kind of some low view streams and stuff like that. And then if you remember, we had some issues. They really screwed something up for me in a game. Yeah. Yeah, you know, a lot of this is coming after the intelligent conversations, and I think people just paying attention to what I'm talking about. Like, literally people actually just seeing the streams and paying attention and seeing that this is all happening and actually watching. Because again, like, the real weirdness started happening when, alright, if you remember, I played Mega Bonk before anybody else did. And then everybody else playing Mega Bonk. Whatever, I don't care. But, regardless, I played Mega Bonk, and that was conveniently the stream where I also had the thumbnail showing everybody how many people were actually watching at the end of the stream when I finished the stream. And there were 264 people that said waiting at the end of the stream, even though, again, there wasn't anybody there. And this is, you know, kind of what we see, where I see those things going in and out, changing, going up and down after the stream finishes. And this was on Megabonk, and there's only 78 views even counted on the stream. And then that very next stream was me getting food, and then the stream finished with, I think, around 8,000. Yeah, 8,511. It says it right on the thumbnail. And then they only counted 133 views. That was a month ago, and it's been happening ever since. Like, really weird like that, where they're just subtracting the views that we're supposed to be getting. I also remember just before this happened, somebody was in my chat trying to, like, you know, say the sort of normal things they have been saying to intimidate and harass and scare and terrorize and stuff. Somebody came in my chat, and so we had a stream where I ate a pizza, and I showed the whole pizza and stuff like that, but I didn't show like what brand it was, or I didn't talk about it either. And then somebody came in my chat and tried to say, I saw you buy that great value pizza. They tried to do that. They tried to come in my chat like right after I had done that stream and try to tell me, I saw you buy that great value pizza. Now, the reason I'm telling you this, and the reason that sticks in my mind, is because that was wrong. It wasn't a great value pizza. It was like literally wrong. So the point is, the person didn't see me buy it. This person came in my chat to try to convince me of that, hoping they were right. They were wrong. And that's how fucking hilarious it was. And so, like, that's the point, like, and even funnier to know that if they knew where I bought it, they would know, like, they would literally would never said great value, because it wasn't bought at Walmart. So just like the sheer, like this is what I'm talking about, like the person doing this, like, we've seen this enough times where somebody's just endlessly following this around. That's harassment and stalking. That's somebody stalking you on the internet. And this is going on way more than you think. You know, like, this is how people show up at TwitchCon and assault other people. You know, like, this is how this stuff happens. Where YouTube is garbage and doesn't do enough to protect people. And Twitch is too, let's be honest. But, you know, the whole point is that there needs to be a complete standard where they actually follow their own policies, and, you know, somebody isn't able to just use the platform to do all of these things. And, you know, the whole point is that this could be causing a very, very serious problem on YouTube's side of things too, which I'm sure it is. My food stream from 2 days ago is halted as well. Like, just sitting at 747 views, just sitting there not moving. This is the stuff that I see, where it gets that many views and then just completely halts and doesn't even gain like a few more here and there. That's not how YouTube or social media functions. That's not how this stuff works. So somebody's been doing this to my trending for quite some time, where they just halt the views. It completely halts at a number. So that, again, the stream from 2 days ago, just called Food, that says it says 747 views. You know, I mean, it's literally said that since I finished streaming. That's the view count that it finished with. So again, it finished with that. And I'm pretty sure that was another stream that had thousands of people in it. Never mind all of those thumbnails we've already looked at from the mobile streams that show that too. You know, it's not just on here. It's not just on the browser. It's literally on the mobile streams it's happening too. You guys all see it. Remember, we had all those people in chat saying, "Wow, there's so many people in here." And then remember, in the streams, we have, you know, the concurrent counter, as you can see on the screen right now. And, you know, even as, you know, as recently as earlier today, you know, we see shitloads of people in the stream, shitloads of views, and, you know, they're unaccounted for. You know, like quite literally thousands. Like I showed you with these screenshots. You know, like we see with those screenshots. Where we get you know, you can see there it says peak concurrence 4,397, but they're only counting 1,535 of that. I mean, come on. You can see behind that, sort of a little grayed out, what the peak concurrent view was when the stream finished. You can see what it was. Okay? It's barely under the total views being counted. And you're trying to tell me that that's the views count that they're counting? No. We already confirmed with Gemini, we've already confirmed with Google, that huge, massive quantities of views are not removed on YouTube. It just doesn't happen. It is not the case. So, what's happening here then? And, you know, we do see more people in chat. And we do see people, you know, sort of showing up and accounting for themselves and stuff like that. So it's completely absurd to say that these views should just be completely coming off in mass quantity the way they are. And, you know, halting too. Halting view progress entirely. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So, alright, I think that covers about what I wanted to get to. Like I said, the main thing when I got on here was this. The main thing was this game, this exact version of Elden Ring has been removed from YouTube's system. So if you know, like me, you were always using the Shadow of the Erdtree edition because that's the version that you have, and you were always using that to identify the game and all that. It has now been removed from every single one of your streams. And every single one of your streams, just like mine, are now uncategorized. They will not show up under Elden Ring. And will not receive the same trending that they did. And they will be messed up now. It will really, really mess things up across the board for anybody that used that. As Gemini already confirmed with us, you know. And so, that was the main thing, was that just silently was removed randomly for no reason whatsoever. So, you know, if you use that, you're going to want to check your streams and stuff like that, but yeah, all of mine are absolutely messed up now and don't have any type of categorization whatsoever. Um, yeah. So, again, I just had to change one of my thumbnails because it wasn't correct. Like, basically, every single time I see a different thumbnail on my end. I just had to change it. So, like, that's the point. Like, that's trash. You can't tell me that your thumbnail system works when I always see a different thumbnail. It's always different. That's not even the thumbnail that I see. That's trash. And then that causes problems because maybe I think it looks good, you know what I mean? But then it's not what, you know, what it actually looks like. So yeah, the anti-paint thumbnail is actually different than the one I'm seeing. So the point is, like, it literally is always different from the one. Like, I will always see something. Yeah, the duck off. So that's different too. And then every single automatic thumbnail that they give for my duck off stream, 2 of them are the character customization, and 1 of them is a loading screen. And the one that I'm seeing is not any of those 3. It's totally different. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just like, that's the point, and I'm changing some of these because that's really screwed up. Because that's the point. I'm never seeing. Oh wow. Yeah, I didn't realize that was the one. Trash. Yeah, so like, this is the point. I would have to go through and fix every last one of these. And the whole point is I'm already making a log of all this time that I'm wasting going in trying to figure out a solution to the Shadow of the Erdtree thing. But, you know, this is the point, is I am constantly doing extra work because YouTube never functions properly. Never. Nothing works. If it would work, things would be easy and it would be quick. But it doesn't work. So, you know what I mean? Like, when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's that simple. So I just changed the Halloween stream because yeah, I mean, it's like literally these thumbnails are not correct, and they're not what I'm seeing. It's so trash. This whole platform is trash. So anyway, I think that pretty much covers what I wanted to discuss. And you know, like my upload too. That's the point. My upload was getting views. So maybe that's why they did it. You know, my upload was actually starting to get views that I beat Elden Ring. And so, you know, they had to take the game card out to suddenly halt all view progress. You know what I mean? Like, that's the stuff I see. Because it was finally getting views. I said something about it earlier. And so people were starting to watch again, and, you know, they're already removing views from that. So, it had gained a few from when I had said that, and then since then, and in between then, that game was taken out of there. Because I've been using that all the way up until now. It just hasn't worked today. That's pretty trash. Well, I changed. There we go. That's better. That was ridiculous. Yep, I was seeing a different thumbnail on the most recent Elden Ring stream, too. Stupid. They have not fixed it. It's not fixed. I just checked. I was going in to see if they fixed it. They have not. So just to show you that YouTube doesn't do anything. They don't give a shit. It is not fixed. Yeah. All these streams, like, the view progress is, like, halted. Oh, yeah, and then my stream from Halls of Torment. My stream from Halls of Torment is literally a menu screen. So you remember how this normally happens? My Halloween stream, the preview for that is my face full screen. So never mind all the other hours we were playing video games. The fucking preview is just my face full screen. YouTube is trash. So, I think that's about it. I think that's all I needed to tell you guys. But this just adds to the log and to the amount of time that I can't do what I need to do. And, so, just throwing that out there for, documentation purposes for later. But, yeah, it sure would be nice if, it sure would be nice if, you know, YouTube wasn't so trash and didn't break everything all the time. Wouldn't that be nice? So, again, This game, the picture right in front of you, was what you used to see below my stream. And it is no longer there. It is no longer in YouTube's system. It used to always be there. As you can clearly see, it is a version of the game. And, it has been silently removed. So, YouTube is fucking garbage. And this disgusting platform promotes gambling and, you know, all kinds of interesting other stuff that is inappropriate for anybody to see. And they're sitting here causing problems for people playing Elden Ring. They promote terrible stuff and cause problems for people that are just trying to game. So yeah, you wonder, this people. I'm so sick and tired of hearing people make fun of the concept of cancel culture when it's literally right in front of you, and YouTube is causing it. Never mind the fact that you can't listen to a song like ever anymore. Nope, can't do that. You gotta listen to 12,000 ads, and then halfway through the song, more ads are gonna play. And maybe the app is just gonna, you know, force close and break. Because, you know, YouTube is fucking trash. Literally, so much of this shit is happening because YouTube is so commercialized and has so many fucking trackers for ads. So anyway, yeah, this is only the latest thing. Shadow of the Erdtree, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, silently but surely removed from their system, completely gone. Will not be below the streams anymore. Ridiculous. And, again, this will be huge amount of time that I have to spend, again, here doing this, explaining it, and then logging, and then fixing, and, you know, it's probably just gonna happen again. And, you know, YouTube's not gonna fix this. YouTube won't add this back into their fucking system. They haven't yet. This entire stream, we've been sitting here an hour and 20 minutes that they've had. Nope, they ain't doing it. They don't fucking give a shit. They don't fucking fix shit. Nope, it's not there. Not there. Just completely gone. No longer on the list. Elden Ring is there. Night Rain is there. But not Shadow of the Erdtree. Interesting, isn't it? I think that's downright fascinating. So anyway, that's about it, I think. YouTube is fucking trash. Thanks for watching.